Distance, speed, time, word problems. What is a DST word problem? So DST stands for distance, speed, time. Usually they involve something or someone moving at a constant or average speed. Out of the three quantities, speed, distance, time, we are required to find one. Information regarding the other two will be provided in the question stem. And they were different at different times. However, can you see that no matter how many different rates he drove for various different time periods, his total distance depended simply on the sum of each of the different distances he drove during each time period? Resolving the components. When you first start out with these problems, the best way to approach them is by organizing the data in a tabular form. Use a separate column each for distance, speed, and time, and a separate row for the different components involved. Two parts of a journey, different moving objects, etc. The last row should represent total distance, total time, and average speed for these values. Although there might be no need to calculate these values if the question does not require them. Assign a variable for any unknown quantity. If there is more than one unknown quantity, do not blindly assign another variable to it. Look for ways in which you can express that quantity in terms of the quantities already present. Assign another variable to it only if this is not possible. In each row, the quantities of distance, speed, and time will always satisfy d is equal to s into t. The distance and the time column can be added to give you the values of total distance and total time, but you cannot add the speeds. Think about it. If you drive 20 miles per hour on one street and 40 miles per hour on another street, does that mean you average 60 miles per hour? Once the table is ready, form the equations and solve for what has been asked. There is one warning to be noted. Make sure that the units for time and distance agree with the units for the rate. For instance, if they give you a rate of feet per second, then your time must be in seconds and your distance must be in feet. Sometimes they try to trick you by using the wrong units, and you have to catch this and convert to the correct units. A few more points to note. Motion in same direction or overtaking. The first thing that should strike you here is that at the time of overtaking, the distances traveled by both will be the same. Motion in opposite direction or meeting. The first thing that should strike you here is that if they start at the same time, which they usually do, then at the point at which they meet, the time will be the same. In addition, the total distance traveled by the two objects under consideration will be equal to the sum of their individual distances traveled. Round trip. The key thing here is that the distance going and coming back is the same. Now that we know the concept in theory, we can work it practically by using examples.